It is week 2 of the playoffs in the top tier H&W Electrical Truck Series, which means it is also elimination night. 12 drivers enter as playoff drivers. 8 will move on to the next round when the checkered flag waves this evening. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am Joshua King. This is our countdown to green. What better way to end round 1 of the playoffs than at a track known for the high speeds and high intensity than Talladega Superspeedway for the Kenny Strait Jacket 150. Man, I am pumped up for this one. I've been pumped up for this one. As we see on our screen here, it is not at Michigan International Speedway. That is a mistake. Didn't update, unfortunately. Always something with the race info, unfortunately. But there we go, Talladega Superspeedway. We're here for 60 laps tonight. There will be stages, 25% and 50% of the way through. 150 miles, as always, is the race length. No fast repair once again, so a lot of playoff drivers will hope to avoid those incidents early and often to make it to the checkered flag. 4 sets of tires, but that won't really come into play here. Drivers may elect to take tires if they happen to be down pit road under caution, of course. But yes, the Kenny Strait Jacket 150 here, presented, I believe, by Mid-Tier Racing and Jeremy Gill. I've been excited for this one since the very beginning of the playoffs and even since the schedule has come out. But as we go deeper into practice here, you see the 60 of Shane King in the Royalty Motorsports red and yellow Ford out there with the red and yellow 13 of Christian Proctor. And we have Timothy Presley in the 01 right now, riding along with the 69 of Marty White in a brand new paint scheme tonight. There's a lot going on that paint. SM Racing Products Ford. Got a lot of other things on the side there. Looks like Cycle Performance on the side and on the front. Very busy but nice looking paint for the 69 of Marty White. Both of those guys, Shane King and Marty White, raced last night in the Hold Your Brakes Academy race. Then we got Jeffrey Lemire in what appears to be a new paint this evening as well. He's in the 15. And the 31 of Randy Schuler follows him. All the usual suspects on track this evening. But if we go back to our racing view, you can see, as usual, we have the playoff drivers in green. So we'll watch for them, as it doesn't appears like maybe we have a couple little, oh, maybe not. It's not split because there's not 20 drivers that have taken a lap yet. Okay, never mind. Disregard. I got nervous with some of the technical difficulties we tend to have sometimes. It seems like I'm always paranoid now about different things not being accurate. We are going to get a word tonight with the 20 of Brady Floyd. And we'll go ahead and pull up your playoff picture as it stands right now. Latham Joyner leads the way. He locked himself into round 2 last week when he got the win. Dylan Canova sits in second. Brady Floyd sits in a very comfortable spot in third. Aaron Brown is fourth. Kenny Cucco rounds out your top five in the playoff standings currently. Chris Pierce follows him. Adrian Fernandez is in seventh. Nick Raffini is currently on the cut line. So he's got a lot of pressure, as do the four guys behind him. J.D. Van Kirk runs ninth. He's only 4 points out of the cut line right now. Jacob Wilson runs in 10th, also 4 points below the cut line. Rob Higgs is 11th, coming in 7 spots behind the cut line. All 3 of those guys could make it work and sneak in as of this evening. And Jake Raven is in the pressure cooker, we will say. He is 14 points below the cut line coming into this evening. Gotta believe that's not what Mr. Raven wanted to have going on in the elimination race. Rena, welcome in once again. We are going to be cheering for Jake Raven to be running up front tonight, maybe get some stage wins, get those extra points as needed, and hopefully pull off the win. But Raven, as it sits now, is on the outside looking in, so we will see what happens with the 37 of Jake Raven, who don't see on track at the moment, but we'll get a look at him as soon as he joins in. Right now we're taking a look at the 20 of Brady Floyd, who we're going to pull in here if we can. Get a word with him. As I mentioned before, folks, Brady Floyd currently sits third in points. He's in a comfortable position. Brady, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Welcome in, sir. You are sitting third, as you just heard me say. Everything is going well. You had a great finish last week. How's the nerves? How's things feeling coming into Talladega this evening?
Personally, I feel pretty good. I think if we can just avoid any super big incidents early, I think we'll be in a pretty good spot. It looks like we're going to have a larger field today, which means a bigger points disparity between those finishing like super high and the guys wrecking out. So you really don't want to be those first couple spots out. But yeah, I feel pretty good about my chances today.
I mean, yeah, Super Speedway kind of opens it up to everybody. We know you're a heck of a racer. We saw you win a lot last season, and you're performing late in the season here to get where you need to be. But personally, how do you feel at Super Speedways more specifically?
I feel like I am a better Super Speedway racer than I am anywhere else. I think this is my specialty. I think this is what I excel at, especially when I have a good team around me, and it looks like we're going to have at least 3 or 4 here tonight. And so usually when I get in a position like that I can shock call some friends that all are trying to work together, we usually do pretty well as long as we can stay together. So I'd be looking out for us tonight, and hopefully we can add a few more reinforcements on before the registration closes. Yeah, we'll see how it goes, and feeling good about it.
Yeah, man, you got a strong team. I see probably 5 of you as of right now in there, plus you have your second piece of Adra. Is it Adra or Adra?
Adra,
okay. And as you know, as everyone else should know, in a super speedway, one of the most important things is having teammates and friends around you at the right time, communication, and then being able to kind of drive to the front and put yourself in a position to win when it matters. So hopefully everything works out for you this evening. Otherwise, I still think you're sitting pretty good. But before we let you go and get back to practice, as you bump to 60 there on track, anyone you'd like to shout out or thank before we let you go?
Of course, you guys broadcast and everybody sponsoring the race and watching it at home. It definitely means a lot for us in the league to have so much support. So thank you to everybody there. Otherwise, just thank you to the teammates that showed up tonight, and then we'll see how it goes.
All right, sir. Well, best of luck to you. Maybe I'll talk to you in the post-race show once again, and if that happens, I'd have to believe you're probably locked in at that point.
Yeah, let's hope so.
All right, man. We'll see you later.
All right, take care.
You too. All right, folks, that was the 20 of Brady Floyd that we are watching currently on track and that we just spoke to. He is sitting third once again, in case you just joined, so he is in a pretty good spot. But he has really had kind of a up and down season, or a down and up season, if you will. We saw him kind of struggle at the beginning, have some tough breaks, but he's put it together here late. Finished second place last week and got himself in a really good position to move on to round 2 of the playoffs. Once again, he is our defending champion. So have to believe he'd love to get that truck into victory lane, if not tonight, in the second round, and have a chance at going back-to-back to start off the top-tier series. And he's out there for more practice now. Let's take a look at more people that'll be on tonight's grid. Michael Weissman in the 74 Cutco Motorsports Chevy. That's a really nice looking purple and black ride of Michael Weissman as he disappears. Christian Proctor just had an issue. Timothy Presley we saw earlier. There's the 19 of Kelly Akron, and it's donut time for Akron as practice finishes up here. Got to believe he'd like to do that in celebration after the race happens. And there's Drafty Beef in the number 2 Press Gas Haul Ass Royalty Motorsports Chevy. Finishing up his practice, looking to have a good run tonight, maybe get her in victory lane. No playoffs for Drafty or, unfortunately, any of the Royalty Motorsports drivers this season. But that's okay. We'll see him go qualifying here momentarily. Let's take a look at the foil. That's not probably what he'd want us to see there. Adrian Fernandez. Nope, nobody's on track. All right, well, they will be on track momentarily, and as usual, we'll give you the updates on who goes to the top of the board in qualifying before we get back, or get to green flag racing, I should say, not back to it. We got some people out here on track. We got Rob Higgs Jr. in the 88. I really wanted to look at this one. This is a specialty paint for Christmas. I love this one. Let's go in close on the 88 of Rob Higgs Jr. If you recall, he always has some flashy paints. Mediocre Sim Racer Shane King in the broadcast in between practice and qualifying. Yes, sir, I am ready for some action tonight. You got to know I love super speedways, whether I'm broadcasting them or whether I'm racing in them. So it's going to be good. Rob Higgs Jr. is on your screen, folks. He's out of Baltimore, Maryland in the Christmas-themed Ford tonight. Good-looking ride there. I feel like he's probably going to be the first one to get a time this evening as he comes around to the start-finish line here. And that was his warm-up lap. Big track here this evening, so it's going to take people a while to turn in some times. But we'll take a look at him. Let's see. Jacob Wilson is in the 51 Toyota as usual. He's on track. Jim Thorndike in the red, white, and blue Cutco Motorsports Chevy on track. Here's your points leader right now. Latham Joyner getting ready to go for his first lap, it would appear. Some strategy in qualifying. You may laugh, but there is a certain strategy to kind of improve your time by hundredths or a thousandth. First 1 to log a lap is Christian Proctor. He's in with a 55.03 currently. J.D. Van Kirk quickly jumps into second place. Lots of times coming in now. Adrian Fernandez to the top of the board in his first lap with a 54.98. Randy Schuler follows him just by 100th. So he's in with a 54.99 in his first time. J.D. Van Kirk is in fourth. Jarrett Martin runs fifth. Jeff Lemire, good time. He's in sixth currently. Marty White in seventh. Justin Waddell in eighth. Rob Higgs Jr. in ninth. Kenny Cucko in 10th. But none of these guys have ran their second lap. Let's see if Adrian Fernandez can hold the top of the board and improve on lap number 2 as he comes around to the stripe here. Michael Weissman to the top of the board on lap number 1, 54.98. And he might have shut it down. That might have been his second lap. I'm not sure where his first lap was. Fernandez did not improve. Aaron Brown to the top of the board to replace Weissman, 54.92 on his second lap. Chris Pierce was close to follow. Now Brady Floyd squeezes in behind him. And gotta believe Brady Floyd is happy with that result. Top 3 are all playoff drivers, folks. Then we got Weissman and Presley in between them. Fernandez and now Gill went to 7th quick. There's Jeremy Gill. Better look at him this time in the white and black Paintmasters Chevrolet. Good luck to Mr. Gill tonight. Aaron Brown continues to hold the top of the board. Latham Joyner comes in third with a 54.95. Down to the 1,000th between him and Brady Floyd to see who got the outside spot for the front row. Shane King qualified 14th with a 55.01 in that red and yellow 60 that we saw. Welcome in Zebra. Can Marty pull off 2 back-to-back super speedway podiums? I'm not sure. We just talked about you earlier racing last night with the 60. As we take a great look at Talladega Superspeedway, let's pull up the race info once again. 150 miles as always in this series. 80% fuel, 4 sets of tires, no fast repair. Green flag stages at 25% and 50%. I will try my best to keep you updated on those. That will, of course, be lap 15 and lap 30 when we have 60 laps of racing, which is what's on tap this evening in the Kenny's Strait Jacket 150, brought to you by Jeremy Gill and Mid-Tier Racing. Jeremy Gill just loves these elimination races on super speedways. Now it means a little bit different, means a little bit less for him this season, simply because he made playoffs last year and was not the biggest fan of Talladega being the elimination race. So, but he's good guy, all fun and games over there. So nothing serious about it. Just wanted to sponsor a race. If you're not familiar with how that works, any team, any driver, any company can sponsor a race, and the money you put forth for that race goes half to the expenses of the league and half to the prize pool for the evening. So the winning driver of tonight will walk away with a little bit of money, and I don't know exactly how much Jeremy and Mid-Tier Racing put forward for the race, but it's kind of cool. So if that's something you're interested in, we have Season 3 in the Gen 6 car of the Top Tier Racing Series. It's going to be Marcia, is it Marcia's Learning Center? I'd have to get a confirmation on that. But we have a new title sponsor for next season. And so that's going to be exciting. And you can absolutely sponsor a race and have your favorite driver, be the title sponsor if you don't want to step forward and put your name or your business. But these drivers appreciate that. The admins of the league appreciate that. There's a lot of costs that goes into running a league and a lot of time and effort that goes into running a series, and broadcasting being one of the costs, of course, the racing sessions being another one. But these admins do a great job, as do all the drivers and the teams that sponsor. Let's take one more look here at your playoff picture. In case you missed it earlier, Latham Joyner is locked in. He'll be on Easy Street for this evening. Then you got Dylan Canova, Brady Floyd, Aaron Brown, Kenny Cucko rounds out your top 5. Chris Pierce, Adrian Fernandez, Nick Raffini's on the cut line. J.D. Van Kirk, Jacob Wilson, Rob Higgs, and Jake Raven rounds out your top 12 playoff drivers. I would say anybody from probably Kenny Cucko on back could all flip, right? Meaning Cucko's sitting in a really good spot right now, but that could change. So it's going to be exciting. Looking forward to it. And we have the starting grid for you. Starting on the pole is going to be the 10 of Aaron Brown. Starting on his outside is the 20 of Brady Floyd. Latham Joyner rolls off third. Chris Pierce in the 4th spot. Michael Weissman in 5th. Timothy Presley rolls off 6th. Dylan Canova in the 70 rolls off 7th. Adrian Fernandez, Adra Esports 243 will roll off 8th. Jeremy Gill, the one we've been talking about so much so far this evening, rolls off 9th. Jim Thorndike in the 59 will roll off 10th. Jacob Wilson will start 11th. Christian Proctor will start 12th. Then on back we have Randy Schuler, who will start 13th. Shane King will start 14th in that Royalty Motorsports Ford. Kenny Cucko will start 15th. Justin Waddell 16th. Jeffrey Lemire in the 15 will start 17th. Jarrett Martin in the 8 will roll off 18th. Jorge Ledesma Jr. in the Revved Up Racing Chevrolet 44 will roll off 19th. J.D. Van Kirk in the Czech 6 Motorsports Mid-Tier Racing Ford will go off 20th. Marty White, the Zebra, he's going to roll off 21st in the 69. Drafty Beef will roll off 22nd this evening. And that is all I got, but there are other cars on the grid. I have to figure that out. Why does that not work? I'm not sure, folks. I'm sorry, but we've had a problem with that last night. We had a problem with it last week. Your final 4 on the grid is the 19 of Kelly Akron. And final 3 on the grid, I should say, is Kelly Akron in the 19. Rob Higgs Jr. in the 88 in that Christmas-looking machine. And Zachary Thornton in the green and white 35, I believe, is joining us for his first race tonight. Don't recognize him, so best of luck to Zachary Thornton in the 35. Back up to the top of the field, though, as Brady Floyd and Aaron Brown will lead the way. They're heading into turn 3. And onward into turn 4, the pace car will pull off this time around. There he goes, and on to the starter cam. We'll see your field come into the shot at the top of the screen here momentarily. And you can see the blue and white Geico restart zone right there in the middle under the Talladega. And green flag is out, and Aaron Brown will lead the way in this elimination race as they come roaring towards turn one. They cross the line and into turn one again as we heard the sights and sounds of these trucks roar at nearly 200 miles an hour. We see the 10 of Aaron Brown on the inside, and the 3 of Latham Joyner has already made a pass on the 20 of Brady Floyd. Whoa, now the 74 drops out of line all of a sudden. What happened to him? I am not quite sure. He'll get back in line, but let's take a look at this from our blimp cam maybe. No, that's a perfect shot there from the drone. You can see already the separation in the field. Now, up front, that's probably the thought process of, hey, I want to stay up front in this race. And in the back, that's probably, hey, I want to stay out of trouble in this race. But anyway, a lot of separation already throughout the field, and we'll try to take you through it as often as possible, as the top 5 are single file already. We have Latham Joyner and Christian Proctor battling slightly as Joyner gets some momentum from the trucks piling in behind him, and Shane King had a perfect opportunity on the low line to go right to the front early, as we have the 3 of Joyner, then the 70 of Canova right behind, and now Jacob Wilson pushing. That's going to push Joyner to the lead, and Brady Floyd leads that outside line with Chris Pierce right behind him, and Aaron Brown, the 3rd place truck, in the outside line. But we'll keep it right here. I like this camera shot, kind of a wide angle, kind of a wide shot here. A lot of trucks in view. As now the 70 of Canova will take the lead. He might lead this lap. Now keep in mind at Talladega, the start-finish line is all the way at the end. It is right there. So it's nearly at the end of the front stretch, and Canova did not get that lap. Latham Joyner did. But nevertheless, they're running up front. Shane King already up 8 spots. Jacob Wilson in the 51 already up 7. Dylan Canova up 5. A lot of big movers already here. Still not sure what happened to Michael Weissman, but now he takes it 3 wide. Kelly Akron's in the middle. Weissman's on the outside. The 8 of Jarrett Martin is on the inside. The 35 pulls up to the back of the 74 to give him some help. He's not going to have room. If Akron thinks he has room, he doesn't. They all keep it clean right now. Now the 74 is 3 wide with the 11, it looked like momentarily. No, I'm sorry, the 44 of Jorge Ledesma Jr. is who that was. Man, early 3 wide battles. Now teammates in the 11 and the 74 hooked up on the outside. 3 wide, they got help in the 44 behind them. That's Jorge Ledesma Jr. They're going all the way to the front. Kucko clears. Will Weissman have enough? He will. Both of them will drop down. That leaves the 44 hanging out to dry with just the 35. Right now, Jorge Ledesma Jr. is thinking, please come back up. They're going to be stuck outside there for a while, is the 44. Kenny Kuko went from 17th, 15th place all the way up to the lead, and now 44, look out, oh no! Kuko spun in front of the field by his teammate, I believe. Holy smokes, how many trucks are done after this one? This is not good. Oh no. Let's go back here, man. That is not going to be good. We're on the Kenny Kuko number 11 here. And it was all good with the 3 wide. I think the 74. Oh, he pulled up beside the 11 when the 11 kind of shuffled back out. Let's watch it again from the nose cam of Weissman. We'll see exactly what I was talking about here, as you'll see the 11 cycle out just a bit, or push up just a little bit towards the top. And Weissman, I don't know, either had too good of a run or didn't think he'd come back down. I don't know, but let's take a look. And just got into the left rear when Kuko tried to come back down. And man, the carnage behind him. Let's go back and watch that again, but now from our blimp cam, hopefully we'll see a lot of what happened here. Amber says, let's go 8. That is Jarrett Martin, who unfortunately we just saw got wrapped up like so many other trucks in the field. But Jarrett Martin looks to be okay, I think. We'll get a better look at the truck there from a closer cam. Let's go back to live action here and see exactly what's going on. That's going to leave the 70 of Dylan Canova up there leading the way, but he will come down pit road, so that ultimately will leave the 51 of Jacob Wilson to lead us to green next time we do go green. And basically the whole field now, and most of this I have to believe is due to damage. Some of it though, like let's say the 44 of Jorge Ledesma Jr. Oh, that's a terrible angle. There we go. There's the 44 in the gray and black. I don't think that's because of damage. As you see him getting tires here, have to believe everything's probably okay. Let's go back one more time, watch that crash from Ledesma as the field pits here. We'll go to the blimp cam once again. I think the 44 lucked out here because it all kind of went down. Yeah, the 44, oh, he got bumped. He got tagged on the tail end. But probably I'd say minimal damage for the 44 if I had to guess. Back to live racing as now we watch the 44 make his way off pit road. He wasn't down there for long. There's the 51 of Jacob Wilson though. He will lead the way, as I mentioned. The 01 of Timothy Presley will run in second. Christian Proctor in the 13 will run third. Jeffrey Lemire in that 15 black and yellow machine will run fourth. And Marty White has made it up 16 spots already. And he will round out your top 5 when we go green. Once again, Shane King avoided all damage and he runs 6th. Chris Pierce will be 7th. Jim Thorndike will run 8th currently. Justin Waddell will be in the 9th spot. And Kelly Akron also avoided all that damage, and carnage, he'll run in the 10 spot, rounding out your top 10. But we don't know exactly how many trucks are damaged. It looked like probably 7 or 8 We're down on pit road pretty long. There's the 22 of J.D. Van Kirk. That's a new looking paint for him this evening in the pink and white Chevy. Bright truck. There's Weissman making his way off pit road. Drafty Beef is off. Still some damage to the right front of that number 2 for Drafty Beef. Hopefully not a huge issue. Might not be a good leader, but might be a good pusher. We'll see. Kenny Cucco makes his way off. Still damaged there, it looks like, to the front end. We'll see. Doesn't look too bad, though. Randy Schuler, heavy damage on the 31 machine. And Dylan Canova, some damage there. Heavy damage on the right front for Canova as well. The fact that that happened in front, folks, is going to mix up this playoff race or the playoff strategy. Zachary Thornton was involved, but he looks good. Drafty Beef is back in, trying to get more damage fixed, as is J.D. Van Kirk. But they're lining back up, and the lights are off on the pace car, so we'll get ready to go green here once again. Working lap 10 currently. Lap 10 of 60. Amber says, hope the number 8 is okay, and Timothy Presley. Well, Amber, I gotta believe Presley's fine. He's sitting on the outside of row 1 right now, and his truck looks awfully nice. So he's doing just fine. We will check on the 8 here just real quick, as the pace car will dive down here momentarily. But there's the 8. He looks just fine and dandy. He's currently running in the 13th spot as we go to the restart. But let's watch them here from the starter cam as they come around to the Geico restart zone. Jacob Wilson will hit it, and he'll put the pedal to the metal, and the green flag is back out, and we're racing again at Talladega. The 51 jumped out to a pretty decent lead, and he already had some lap trucks to try to maneuver, as we see maybe 4 wide back in the field temporarily between damaged trucks and trucks that are on the lead lap still. We're 3 wide now, and your boy Timothy Presley's right in the middle. Hold on to it, Tim. Go back to the drone cam. That seems to be our most exciting camera and best angle for all the action. Now the 13 of Christian Proctor up front is 3 wide. 69 is in the middle as well. The 01 is happy to see that happen. Otherwise, he would have gotten shuffled who knows how far back. But that outside lane of Chris Pierce in the 65 is challenging the 51 and Rob Higgs Jr. on the inside. My apologies, that is Jim Thorndike in the red, white, and blue truck. Now, the 3 of Latham Joyner, as he always tends to do, he cuts it inside. He don't like being behind anybody. He always wants to be at the front, and they hold it straight for right now, as 65 continues to hold the outside lane. Things have settled slightly for the 01 of Presley. He has an option to go low here. In fact, I'm not sure why he didn't he would have been the third truck in line there on the low side and been able to work some magic down there, but nevertheless, he's up top. And Chris Pierce continues to lead the way from that third line. And now he says, nah, that's okay. But the 51 was there. He wasn't able to drop all the way down. But Aaron Brown and the 243 of Adrian Fernandez are left hanging out to dry on the outside lane. We've seen that a couple times already. Now that middle lane is really strong in the 01. Presley is up the middle. All of a sudden it makes sense why Presley didn't drop down, and now he's going to have a chance to go all the way through the middle. But we've seen the 74 Weissman come up through that third line once already. Now it didn't end well, but he is some relief for the 243 and the 10 if they can get things going. And if we take a quick look at the blimp cam, we'll see probably 12 to 14 cars, trucks rather, all under a blanket here as we work lap 15. Chris Pierce pulled away momentarily, and he drops down to that low line. Latham Joyner, and it looks to be like all the three wide has all of a sudden just calmed down, and you got probably 12 trucks on that inside lane, and if they keep hooked up, that outside lane is going to be in a world of trouble here. That might see the 13 of Proctor go from about 3rd to 15th. Oh, hold on to it, 01. Oh, no. Presley holds on to it, but he's going to be cycled. There's no one there to help him, as he was way off the pace. I mean, you can't blame him. You know, that would have just caused problems. He'll go to the tail end of this lead pack. It looks like Brady Floyd will jump in with him. Jeff Lemire still hanging on. Jorge Ledesma Jr. somehow got cycled. He's fighting for his life there to hold on to the draft. But up front, Chris Pierce continues to lead over the 3 of Latham Joyner. Jim Thorndike is now leading that outside lane after Presley nearly lost it. And he'll have good momentum with the 13 behind him, and Aaron Brown and the 243. Man, did they luck out. They were at risk of getting cycled big time on that third line after everything kind of calmed down behind them. Folks, we only have 5 playoff drivers in our top 10. You can do the math. Half of them are not playoff drivers. Dylan Canova is in 22nd, and J.D. Vankirk, unfortunate for him, is in 24th. That might spell the end of his hopes for playoffs round 2, unfortunately, because he's going to be awfully strong at Watkins Glen. That's coming up shortly in the weeks to come. Now we see the red, white, and blue of Jim Thorndike challenge the 65. The 65, though, will pull away as now the 13th got cycled out. Same as we saw with Presley. Not the first time. The 13 is going to have to find some room. And where's it going to be? Man, now Presley, redemption. Of course, I'm kidding. 13 didn't do anything to him. He just got a chance to go by another guy that got pushed out of line. If Thorndike wanted to, he could drop now and lead the inside line, but he's not doing it. He's staying out there with Aaron Brown, but Aaron Brown says, that's okay, appreciate your help, but I'll take the lead on the low line. It's not going to hurt Thorndike too much here, as he will get enough help behind him as the 11 blinks. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. That could be substantial. Okay, now Thorndike actually fell in line with the leaders now, as you see the top four, all single file, pulling away just slightly. The 243 thought better of trying to push that third line, and now that top line will have the 11 of Kuko leading the way, but as I mentioned, he's blinking a little bit, and you could just see it there on our camera where it kind of went to a random camera. That means he blinked. So we're not going to watch him per se, but we'll focus on the 01 who dives out again. Didn't he learn better after his first time doing it? He's going to go to the back again. He might have a chance to slip in between the 88 of Rob Higgs Jr. That's lucky for the 01 of Presley. Someone get in his ear and tell him, don't go by yourself there, bud. But either way, he got lucky this time. Jim Thorndike somehow ended up back on the outside. Oh, that's a teammate of his in the 11. Back to the 11, folks. If he continues to blink, that is not good for him or for the guys behind him. Why? Because they will lose the draft. It's not just he disappears on your screen. He disappears on the track also. So not only the guys behind him, but the guys in front of him and himself are obviously all hoping that Kenny stops blinking. They need him to stop blinking if they're going to make any kind of run on this outside lane. We missed the first stage per usual with me since they're green flag stages. Who knows how they lined up? I believe it was Chris Pierce who led the way, and he'll be happy to get that playoff point. Nick Raffini bummed to miss out on tonight's race. Oh no, I didn't even notice you weren't here. Folks, that is big because Nick Raffini is a playoff driver. And his best bet right now for making it, as we pull up just briefly, Nick Raffini was on the cut line. His best bet is J.D. Van Kirk taken out of the action, but he will get points. No, I don't. Oh, man, Nick, I'm so sorry, dude. I don't think that's going to bode well for you making the second round. Man, that is a tough break. We'll have to see how it plays out, but everyone else made it. Randy Schuler's in the pits currently. Drafty Beef still out there. Canova having himself a hard time. J.D. Van Kirk having himself a hard time as we watch the 10 of Aaron Brown. Let's go find some racing here. Rob Higgs Jr. is on the inside of the 74. Now, folks, if you're new to super speedway racing, this is normal. Okay, there's always side-by-sides, basically all race. You kind of just go through the field, call it like normal, see who moves, see who is doing well. And it's basically all a climax, if you will, to the last two laps, pretty much, because then it matters who leads. Right now, it doesn't really. But, you know, we'll keep calling the exciting action. They're getting more bunched up here, as our biggest mover right now is the guy we're taking a look at on track, Marty White, in the 11, along with the guy right in front of him, Rob Higgs Jr. in the Christmas theme machine. Latham Joyner is taking the lead. What a shock that is. Now we'll start to see, as these guys have run side by side pretty often and pretty consistently here in this green flag run, you'll see them start to bounce out. Whoa, almost an accident there between the 60 and the 01 of Presley. But they keep it straight, as now there's the middle line, the 243 and the 33 of Justin Waddell, who we haven't seen yet this evening. Got cycled out, as we've seen a couple times already, but fortunately for them, they'll get back in the line without too many problems. The 33 will drop back to 12th after being up there running for the potential top 5 and lead pack. But anyway, you'll see these drivers start to kind of bounce out, bounce inside, bounce outside. That's not because they're all over the place on accident. That is on purpose. These trucks will get hot if they are run too consistently right behind another truck, as you see how close these guys are running. Let's go back to the nose cam of the 74 here, Michael Weissman. When you're this close and you're bumping down the backstretch and sometimes even into the corner, that truck will get awfully hot really quick. So you have to bounce outside and cool off the truck a bit, or find your way to nice cool air. Clean air, I'm sorry. Right now, Weissman is in a pretty good spot. He could probably do that. You take someone like the 60 of Shane King that we look off the nose of. He doesn't really have anywhere to go. There's trucks to his inside. There's trucks right in front of him. And we've seen it happen before. He's not going to jump out to the outside all by himself. So that's where you create that kind of urgency, if you will, to bounce inside, bounce outside to keep the truck cooler. That might have been what the 13 of Christian Proctor just did, as he now elects to go to the low side a few spots back from where he was. As now we see green flag pit stops 27 laps in from some of the guys in the front, and the reason why, folks, they hadn't pit yet. That's going to give Kenny Kuko the lead. He's rebounded nicely since the incident with teammate Michael Weissman. Oh no, as we see Rob Higgs Jr. go around. No yellow though, because they all kept it straight ultimately, and no one was on the track in danger. Man, does that mix this up. Back to the blimp cam, that front group all of a sudden with pit stops and then the almost carnage. The front group is 7 trucks. That's it. And if we run it down for you, the leader is Kenny Kuko, of course. The 3 is Latham Joyner. We know his name. Jim Thorndike is in that red, white, and blue Ford. The 74 Weissman was wrapped up with Kenny Kuko early. They've rebounded as best they possibly could have hoped, as other drivers have found themselves basically out of the race. Aaron Brown is still there. Oh no, and now Aaron Brown turns Jim Thorndike trying to get to the middle. And I'm not sure why that even happened. Why did that happen? There's no reason for it. That's not who we want. Let's watch this, folks. I mean, I'm a broadcaster, okay? I can't be biased. I can call it the way I see it. There's no room here for the 10. There is absolutely no room here, and I don't know where there's room right there. But he wouldn't have had room as they come down the track, and that was net code, but he would have got pushed out. Rob Higgs or Jim Thorndike would have been pushed out of line. And I have to say it again. You've already, the track or the group has already been narrowed down to 7. As we see maybe even that 7th car start to fall off here. But let's watch from Aaron Brown's perspective off the nose cam. He just tries to squeeze her in a position where there's not a lot of room. And it ends up costing him. There's from Thorndike's view as he goes up and around, and fortunately for him, never went fully up and around. But we'll go back to live action now as we see the whole field pitting. Now those guys that were on top or just pitted, they're going to be in front of the race. That is Presley, Proctor, Marty White, Jeff Lemire. Adrian Fernandez is the first guy off pit road with these guys since the caution that are pitting on lap 30. Joyner follows him, Shane King in 7th. Waddell kept it clean in that wreck. He was 8th. Jarrett Martin is 9th. I believe Waddell was the last guy in that 7-car group that we just caught the nose of in that replay for that wreck. Kelly Akron comes off 10th. He's up 14 spots as the 19 of Akron. He's having himself a good run. A lot of cars still down pit road. We'll see if that impacts him significantly. Jeremy Gill is 11th. Jacob Wilson is running 12th. Kenny Cooko comes out of pit road 13th. Maybe some damage still to fix from that last wreck. Rob Higgs Jr. in the 88 is 14th. I bet no one was happier than Rob Higgs Jr. to see that caution come out, because we saw him almost wreck and then he held it together, which was masterful driving, by the way, from the 88. And then he caught the caution before he went a lap down, so I bet he was happy to see that. Jorge Ledesma Jr. will catch the field, and he'll be happy to have that happen. Michael Weissman will come out 16th, probably with damage to fix on that ride. The 17th is J.D. Van Kirk, and it looks like he's on the lead lap again. Van Kirk is on the lead lap. Aaron Brown will come out 18th. That didn't help his chances. Chris Pierce is running 19th currently. He's a playoff driver. Thorndike is out, and he's 20th on the lead lap, so good to see that. Zachary Thornton is also off pit road. Limited damage. Maybe nothing. Hard to see on the white truck. Brady Floyd is running 20th. Also on the lead lap, I believe. He is. Drafty Beef is... No, I'm sorry. Dylan Canova will be the first guy 1 lap down or more in this case. We'll get you an update on Mr. Canova as once he comes off pit road. Randy Schuler is down there, and Drafty Beef is down there as well. Or was down there, I'm sorry. Beef is 9 laps down currently, not the way he wanted his race to go. Dylan Canova has to hope for more cautions, though, as he's currently 2 laps down. He's catching the tail end of the field, but he will be in a position to get the lucky dog anytime a caution comes out that he is not involved in, which can be a tricky situation at a super speedway. But the iRacing.com pace car will dip down once more to pit road, and we'll see him go green here shortly. Once again for lap 33 of 60. We're just over halfway. The stage, I believe, was Presley, Proctor, White, Lemire, and Fernandez due to the caution. They're green once again. Timothy Presley leads the way. Presley, I believe, led that lap, but the 243 of Adrian Fernandez was coming hard on the outside with the 13 of Christian Proctor to follow him. The momentum on the inside starts to build, and look out, we got the 01, the 69 of Marty White, and Shane King in the 60 with Jarrett Martin behind him. Oh, look out. Presley nearly got shuffled, but Marty was nice enough to let him back in. Marty was squirrely there, but they keep it going. They'll lose a little momentum there to that top line, but I think it'll all work out okay. Some fan favorites up front right now. The 01 of Presley, the 60 of Shane King, Marty White, and the 8 of Jarrett Martin. You know who else didn't make this race? Jake Raven. He's nowhere to be found. I just noticed we haven't called his name at all. And if anything is going to be the saving grace to someone like J.D. Van Kirk to making round 2 of this thing in the playoffs, it has to be that 2 drivers right around him or below him have not made it to this race at all. But back to the action, we got on track. Adrian Fernandez led the lap this time around. I do believe he will, maybe not. Timothy Presley with a great side draft there will get it going on the outside now. I have to believe he's probably just more comfortable out there since he was leading that bottom line and elected to go up top. The 8 of Jarrett Martin, though, is pushing the 243 of Adrian Fernandez with a big gap behind him to the 10 of Aaron Brown. But the 10 and the Shane King 60 will close. I would have to believe Aaron Brown does look like he has some heavy damage, though. That might be an issue. As the 01 still leads on the top line. He led that lap once again. There are points for leading laps in this race, or in this series, rather, and race. The 01 not leaving Marty White hanging, but the 10 and the 60 just cannot catch the 243 and the 8. That's our front pack here. Then we get back to Christian Proctor in the 13, the tail end. This is a little bit of a gap. You can see a great shot here at what this first group really is, but the separation might be an issue. Whoa, someone blinked temporarily. What happened with Kenny Cooko? Where is he? Okay, he's back in the 16th right now, right behind Latham Joyner, who's in 15th. Latham Joyner has nothing to worry about, folks. He won last week, so he is locked into the next round of the playoffs. The 243 of Adrian Fernandez, though, is not, and he leads the way. He's a playoff driver. Aaron Brown not locked in either. It looks like they finally closed the gap a little bit on the front two. But no, now they pull out more. Oh, look out, Aaron Brown. Hold on to it, buddy. Oh, no, that's not going to be good for him. He's still fighting it. And now he saves it. That has to be due to damage. That's going to allow the 60 of Shane King to close the gap now. It was damage. It had to be on the 10. Because Shane King closed the gap in a hurry. And now that outside lane is merely 2 trucks back to the 15 of Jeff Lemire. Marty White won't hesitate to drop down and help out the 60. That's a smart move at this point in the race, I'd have to believe. Now Presley might have thought about squeaking in, but no room. Good smart move there by Presley to not try to force it when Shane King had that gap closed up basically. But this is a 6-car little pack here. Jeffrey Lemire is the middleman, if you will, to that front pack of 6 rather. And that second pack, now Rob Hicks Jr. has some good momentum on the outside in the 88. Let's see if he can close. Such a large gap to the top 3 on that lower line. I'm surprised the 88 hasn't dived down. But man, did he close quick on the 69 of Marty White. We'll see if anyone in this second pack elects to take it 3 wide, since they just spent the better half of 5 laps trying to get back up with this lead group. They finally do it. Look who's back in the action. It's the 70 of Dylan Canova right there. He wants a lucky dog. He's not on the lead lap right now. Adrian Fernandez, though, still leads that lower line. Jarrett Martin led that lap, though, from the outside. Is he going to drop down? He will. Maybe. He's playing both lines. The 243 says you got to come on down or you got to go high. But he will go to that lower line, and he is leading the race. Amber Crittenton has to be happy in the race chat. Broadcast chat, rather. Race chat. You all know what I mean. We're inside 20 to go now. We're working lap 41, I'm sorry. As they come to the stripe, we'll go to 18 to go now. As 2 non-playoff drivers lead the way, and this is extremely exciting for me, and it should be for you guys at home. Why? Because we have 2 playoff drivers in our top 10 right now. That's it. Now as Pierce in the 65 sneaks in to the 10 spot, so 3. Either way, that's going to make the points unreal. Like, we're talking people could make or miss the second round of the playoffs by maybe 1 or 2 points the way it's shaking out here tonight, folks. A lot could still happen with 17 to go. That's a ton of time at Talladega. But Fernandez is your only playoff driver in the top 5. Jarrett Martin leads in the 8 currently, but he'll be pressured by the 243 on the outside. Timothy Presley is in the 3 spot. The 60 of Shane King and the 13 of Christian Proctor are back and forth. Shane King's Hold Your Brakes Academy League started last night, folks, at Daytona. And I'm going to just throw this out there into the universe. The 60 of Shane King, he won that race last night at Daytona. Can he go back-to-back at super speedways in back-to-back nights for league wins? We will see. 16 laps to go as now the top 4 tend to cycle out just a little bit. Rob Higgs Jr. has fallen back a bit, but look who's on his way to the front. It's the 3 of Latham Joyner. He'll drop in behind the 60, but I guarantee you he doesn't want to be there. Oh, and he'll shove the 60 up high, and the 74, they'll go low. I gotta believe the 60 probably isn't thrilled about that move. But nevertheless, he was paying attention, and good thing he was. Oh, and now we see the 60 go high. He won't get any help, though. Oh, no. As now the 3 of Latham Joyner finds himself on the back bumper of Jarrett Martin. Jarrett Martin, don't look now. The series and points leader is on your tail end. 74 Weissman is in 3rd place. He doesn't factor into anything. He can't make playoffs. He's only made a couple races. But make no mistake about it, he'd love to win a race. Any of these guys would. Rob Higgs Jr. in the 88 has followed through the pack with the 3 and the 74. Where did Shane King end up? My goodness. Down to 14th all of a sudden. Good news for him, though. Still 14 to go, and he's still in the lead pack. That probably was on purpose. I know Shane very well, and I have to believe that that move to go to the outside there, he saw the aggressiveness and he wanted to get out of it and avoid any potential late race caution here. But, whoa, Weissman hold it together. Latham leads. Michael Weissman is right behind him. The 8 of Jarrett Martin has settled in 3rd. He'll be the pusher now instead of the pushy. And that's the lead pack right now. Rob Higgs Jr., Adrian Fernandez are your 4th and 5th place sitters, but the 01 of Presley will go to the inside. And man, that bottom line is working. Getting a lot of momentum going as Fernandez continues to drop back. Now Kenny Kuko is thankful for that because he'll be able to work up into a position as he blinks again to potentially have a run at it. But if we look at this cam from straight on, you can see they're all single file as we watch them pass our camera. Oh no, we got trouble. It looks like Justin Waddell is involved. Caution is out with 12 to go. Let's go back and see what happened. We just caught the tail end of it in the live shot. And I think once again, it's not a replay, folks, of the last one. That's after the fact. Folks, this is, I mean, like a broken record. It's basically the same thing we've seen week in, week out. And now here in the race at Talladega, Aaron Brown took it 3 wide with what appeared to be very little to no room. He had just done the same thing on Rob Higgs Jr. or on Jim Thorndike not too long ago. Oh, he already was 3 wide. Okay, I'm glad I rewinded that. And I don't think... So let's see here. The 243. Let's get kind of a better camera shot here. That won't do it. That won't do it. Maybe. But I don't think Waddell knew that they were 3 wide, and then the 243 kind of got loose. That's just, I think, a racing incident. The 243 had nowhere to go, really, on the bottom line of the racetrack. We can go maybe here. That'll be a good shot. Okay, so the 243 right there was way down the racetrack. Tries to come back on, and they just kind of get pinched. I think it happened so fast, the 33 didn't know that they were 3 wide. Okay, so glad to say Aaron Brown there, not at fault in that one, I wouldn't believe. And let's go back to live racing, or live action rather. Folks, the whole field has pitted as we watch Rob Higgs Jr. make his way off pit road. He was the first one in and the first one off. He will lead us to green. Timothy Presley is in second, Jarrett Martin in third, Adrian Fernandez fourth. Latham Joyner will roll off fifth. We got 10 to go, folks. Let's take a quick break and listen, get a word from our sponsors here at Royalty Racing Network, and we'll be back to bring you the exciting finish from Talladega Superspeedway. Stay tuned. Welcome back, folks. We are getting ready to go green here for hopefully the final time of the evening. With 8 to go, it's going to be a shootout in a sense to the finish. Marty, I'm sorry your night was ruined there. You had a good run last night, man. You can't can't win them all, but you're having a good run again tonight, and just some aggressive driving here has kind of caused a couple cautions that maybe didn't need to happen, in my opinion, but that's not what I get paid to do. So we're getting ready to go back to the live race action as we get ready for the green flag to drop once again. Rob Higgs Jr. will lead the way. He's your playoff driver in front of the field right now. Fernandez, Joyner, and Wilson are all in the top 10.
Yeah, they called it off.
Oh, and called off the start there. So back to yellow we go. Not sure why, but they'll hope to get lined up right this next time. We'll go one more lap here under yellow. Man, Rob Higgs Jr., that's such a cool looking paint job, man. You can get a good shot of it here. Very nice. I like the shine to the green on it. It's kind of like a green chrome type of look. I'm not sure, Robert, to be honest with you. We caught the tail end of why he was down there. My guess, he probably got pushed down there from a bad bump and then was trying to make his way back up the track safely, and fortunately the 10 of Aaron Brown saw it all going on, but I don't think the 33 saw it. If I had to guess, his view was probably blocked from the 10, and then they just kind of got sandwiched. Probably a case where the 33 was trying to side draft and keep beside the 10, but then didn't know someone else was below him. But that's what I would have to guess. Yep, Marty, that's what I just mentioned. Car rejoining. And he did have plenty of room, but then the old sandwich job happened from the guy that was then running the outside lane. The third lane in that case. But nevertheless, we are back to the starter cam, and our flagman Barney will await the field to enter the Geico restart zone. Here they come.
Green flag.
And we're green flag racing once again at Talladega. Hopefully for the last time this evening with 7 to go. Folks, don't look now, but the 22 of J.D. Van Kirk, who's on the verge of not making round 2, is now all of a sudden up into the 7th spot as we see 3 wide. Once again, hold it together, boys. Look out. The 8 of Jarrett Martin was on the low side. They did hold it together, but a huge checkup. Great driving by the 4 of Jeremy Gill to see what was about to happen there and let the 8 back in a sense. But they all keep it going. Rob Higgs Jr. in the Christmas machine continues to lead the way. Latham Joyner right behind him, followed by the whole rest of the field that's remaining. Michael Weissman still running third. Weissman now will follow Joyner. Those are teammates at Cucko Motorsports, if you're wondering why they've been attached at the hip tonight. Now, Jarrett Martin in the 8 works back with Rob Higgs Jr. and Jeremy Gill, who is not running. Wait, is he? Yeah, okay, he's on the lead lap. Holy smokes, I didn't see his name. But now they'll take the lead on the low line. These non-playoff drivers want to get a win. Oh, Rob Higgs Jr. with the block, it appeared, to hold that front lane. Joyner had no option but to push him, and now Michael Weissman might get funneled back. Holy smokes, that could be a race winner for Rob Higgs Jr., and that could have killed any momentum that the 3 of Latham Joyner might have had to make a move at the end. He's got another teammate in Jim Thorndike right behind him, as now he bounces out to catch the 74, and Joyner not going to join them on the outside right now. Kenny Cucko is a couple cars back, also obviously Cucko Motorsports. And we're 3 to go here. Please stay green. That outside line at the top of the wall looking to get going with Jim Thorndike leading the way. Michael Weissman behind him. Kelly Akron follows suit. Can they make up any ground? Oh no, look out, we got another wreck. Thorndike's around. Van Kirk around. I think it started with Thorndike. Oh, what happened here? Let's go back here. 1 second. Let's go to the 243, and we're going to rewind it just a little bit. Oh, he came up. He wanted to join Latham Joyner on the high side. Came up in front of Jim Thorndike, who was getting pushed already by the 74. Had nowhere to, I mean, even if Thorndike lays off the gas here, and even hits the brake, I mean, he has nowhere to go. He's getting pushed by Weissman. And they just bottleneck and nowhere to go. Cucko looks like he might have avoided too much damage. Let's see. He's in, probably maybe for tires, I'm not sure. Let's go back to live action here. JD Van Kirk looks like not too much damage. Oh my goodness, terrible camera shot there that we went to. Okay, Cucko does have some damage there. Looks like someone might have called it a night. Jorge Ledesma Jr. is in. Aaron Brown. Truck's all tore up. He's been in multiple incidents. Adrian Fernandez, tough break for him. He was having an absolute amazing run tonight, and now he has to pull it down pit road for damage late. This is going to cause a green-white checkered incident here. So we're going to see. Proctor got through. That's good. There's Christian Proctor in the 13, not a playoff driver. Your 2 playoff drivers, Latham Joyner, who's locked in, Rob Higgs Jr., who is not, but is right there on that cut line or close to it. So Got to believe he's pretty happy he made it through that. Van Kirk is scored as still being 8th, fortunately for him. I think the caution came out before he got too wrapped up in anything. He's right there fighting for round 2. Michael Weissman is not, and then Jacob Wilson is. He's running 10th right now. Still looks like he's in pretty good shape. So we'll have a green-white checkered here when we go back to green. Keep an eye on those pace car lights. To see when they go out, and we will get the field lined up 2 by 2 again. Take one more short break here before we get them back going for the green-white checkered attempt. Stay with us for the finish. Welcome back, folks. The lights on the pace car are indeed off. Latham Joyner will lead the field to green for the green-white checkered. They only get one chance at it, as far as I'm aware, unless that has been changed. So I am really hoping that they keep it straight for the first lap, so we get to see this thing finish under green, as opposed to our race yesterday evening that finished under yellow due to that situation. The iRacing.com pace car will dive down pit road for sure, for the last time now. And we'll kick it to the starter cam to see him launching the Geico restart zone one more time this evening at Talladega, and Latham Joyner is off as the green flag waves. Can they make it back to the start-finish line without incident? Look out, Rob Higgs. Keep it straight, buddy. Jarrett Martin has pounced on the lead for now. Must have been a checkup or something behind him, because he was out there pretty good. Oh, look out, Jarrett Martin into the fence, and all chaos breaks loose. And this is not the way we wanted to finish it. Oh my goodness, man. If it is, though, the way it ends, Christian Proctor is going to be your winner. I'm waiting for word here on if this is it. But Robert Altman, you got to be going crazy right now, because that would mean Proctor is the winner, as Jeremy Gill would bring it home second. Jim Thorndike would be third, meaning that the non-playoff drivers got redemption this evening on some of those guys that have been mopping the floor all year. Your points leader, it scores as, oh wait, the pace car is back out there. Let's not get crazy here, folks. We gotta figure out what's going on. Let's go to Drafty Beef. We'll find out what's happening. He is in mid-tier right now.
Yeah.
Drafty, this is Joshua up in the booth. You got a copy, bud?
Yeah, I'm here.
I know things haven't went well for you this evening on track. I'm not pulling you in to discuss that, but I am pulling you in to discuss, to find out an answer. Is that the end of the race, or are we going one more time?
I believe that was the green-white checkered. That should be it.
All right, so we heard it there from Drafty Beef himself, who is an admin in this league and who was with us in the booth last night. That would be the end of the race. Drafty, thank you, sir.
Yep, no problem.
We'll talk to you later.
Sounds good.
So we got our answer here, folks, and that appears to be the end. Let's go look at that. I'm glad you called that out, since we're waiting. Holy moly. The 8 is in bad shape there, unfortunately. So let's rewind this. That's silly that that's where it says the 8 crashed. Come on. Where'd he go? All right. So let's go to a better view here. This should give us enough, I believe. What we're going to see... No. Rewind. What we want to see is... I can't seem to get... There we go. The 8 is in front of the 3 right now. That's Latham Joyner, okay? All fine and dandy. He gets pushed. No big deal. Now the 3 jumps out. And... the 8 tries to go up in front, I think, but at the same time, we're going to rewind it just a little bit there. A lot going on. Let's go to the chase cam, the far chase cam on the 88 of Rob Higgs Jr. I think the 3 gets a little bit of a bad bump as maybe the 8 tries to come up and block. Well, let's rewind it again, see it in slow motion. The 88 bumps the 3, but then the 8 was already there. I think that happens regardless if that was a bad bump or not, and then it was just disaster. The 8 into the wall and then down into the 88. 88 again, trying to save it. 74 was trying to get through. Latham Joyner. Oh, nearly airborne was Joyner. Holy smokes, that was crazy. Hard impact there. 60 of Shane King was wrapped up. Dylan Canova wrapped up once again. He had a rough night. Actually, he was 9th after it was all said and done. Not as rough a night as it could have been for Canova. He got some lucky dogs, I suppose. There's Jarrett Martin, unfortunately 17th after such a great race. But let's go back live here as we watch Christian Proctor burn it down. He gets the win at Talladega. But let's take a look at your race results. Christian Proctor with the win. Jeremy Gill brings it home second. Good race from him. Jacob Wilson in third. Thorndike in fourth. Brady Floyd rounds out your top five. Zachary Thornton is in sixth. Good run for his first race, I believe. Jeff Lemire in seventh. Adrian Fernandez is eighth. Dylan Canova ninth. Latham Joyner 10th. Kelly Akron is in 11th. Good run for him. Timothy Presley finished 12th. Chris Pierce finished 13th. Shane King finished 14th. Michael Weissman brought home 15th. J.D. Van Kirk finished 16th, and that might have just saved his playoff hopes. Finishing 17th was Jarrett Martin. Rob Higgs Jr. brought home 18th after being up there the majority of the second half trying to win the race. And then we have Aaron Brown finishes 19th. Kenny Coco 20th. That could hurt him significantly. We'll see what happens. Justin Waddell 21st. Marty White finishes 22nd. Jorge Ledesma Jr. brings home 23rd. Drafty Beef 24th. Randy Schuler 25th. Talon Drake, he didn't make the start, but he was in the session. He finishes 26th. We will have interviews, though, with your top three here momentarily. Amber, I agree. Dang, I really wanted to see that go green. Jake, was hoping for you to make the race, man. You never know what could have happened, but I get other things come up and are more important. But yeah, we took a close look at the issues there for the 8 and the 88. There were a couple really questionable calls and decisions here that I witnessed on track from the broadcast booth that if you were watching, you probably felt the same. Beth, you call one of them out. Call it like it was. The number 3 rubbed his rear. Maybe. It wasn't a great bump from the 88 behind. I'm not going to say that. We've seen more obvious situations. And I personally, this time, did not feel like the 3 did give a bump to the 8 on purpose. I feel like it was just a bit of a bad bump. And the 8 tried to squeak back up top, and it just wasn't there. But it is what it is. Let's get a word now with our third place finisher. Let's go back to the top of the results here so we can see our top 10 showing there. But Jacob Wilson finished in the 3 spot this evening. Jacob, this is Joshua up in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you, sir.
Let me turn your volume up, or you can turn yours up maybe a little bit. You're quiet to me, which means you're quiet to everybody else. All right, try again.
All right, you got me?
Ooh, that's pretty rough. Your volume is all the way up on my end, 200%. So we're going to try to roll with it.
I'll give you a little more. I think I can give you a little more.
There we go. That sounds better.
How's that?
That sounds a lot better. Hopefully they'll be able to hear it at home. We've already had issues with that in the past, but it sounds good to me. So, walk us through what we were hoping for was going to be that green-white checkered finish there at the end.
Well, I was at that point, I'd already gotten kind of destroyed in the rear end from that previous wreck. I was not going to pit there because I didn't have a meatball, so, I wanted to keep my track position. I didn't have any help, really. There was a lot of teammates up there, and I was kind of alone tonight, and because Dylan had problems, and so did Jorge, so I was kind of one man in it, but, I was just kind of going where the runs were. I was hoping that maybe that inside line would stack up, and, I'd be able to gain some positions, which is what sort of happened. I was just wanted to finish, honestly. I didn't want to crash, because I figured I was pretty much safe enough if I finished, top 10, I would pretty much, I feel like, transfer in. But I think I was the top playoff guy tonight, so I'll take that. It was not a win, but it's a win in a way. So pretty good night. I'd rather be in victory lane, but it is what it is.
Yeah, man. I mean, I was just going to point that out myself. You were the highest finishing playoff driver, and figuring that you came in sitting 2 out of the cut line going into tonight. Now, a third place finish has to be a bit of a relief, and not sure if you're aware, but a couple of your competitors that were right there on that cut line didn't make the race this evening. So that might have helped as well, but have to believe that bringing home a podium probably got you into round 2, so you can look ahead now. What race are you looking forward to in round 2, and is there one that you're not looking forward to?
I'm definitely looking forward to Martinsville. That's my home track. I live about 40 minutes from there, so we'll be hoping to finish hopefully top step of the podium there at Martinsville, bring home the checkered flag. The other track, Watkins Glen, that's going to be more of just a survive for me. I'm not really a great road racer. I'm usually pretty good at staying on track, but I'm definitely not the fastest, so I probably won't be able to do what I did tonight there. So definitely need to have a good run in Martinsville, I feel like. So,
well, we look forward to seeing it, and I'm going to call it early. Congratulations on making the second round of the playoffs. Of course, hopefully now I don't bite my tongue later, and that's
yeah,
wrong,
hopefully not.
but I think you're safe. But before we let you go, anyone you'd like to thank or shout out this evening?
Yeah, I want to thank all my revved up guys, Peyton and Dylan and Jorge and Nick. He was one of those guys that wasn't able to make it tonight, sadly, so he won't be able to advance on to the next round. I want to thank all my sponsors, Circle W Farms, Floors by Dennis, Adrenaline Captures, Victory Fuel, and just everyone else that watches these and supports me in my sim racing and my real life racing. I couldn't do it without all of them.
All right, sir. Well, go celebrate this one. Probably, like I say, more than likely making it to the next round. So you can start getting ready for next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yep. Have a good one.
You too.
All right. That was our third place finisher in the 51, Jacob Wilson, with a good run this evening. Now we're going to get the 4 of Jeremy Gill in here to the broadcast booth. Jeremy, you sponsored this race. You weren't a fan of it last year when it came down to elimination time. This time, you bring home a second place finish. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Man, your volume is crazy low, too.
Well, is that better?
A little bit better. Well, hopefully,
Good deal.
of course, as you know, if you've watched back the broadcast, we've had issues with that in the past on the broadcast, so hopefully it's good to go. But, Jeremy, take us through your race. I know kind of started out a little bit weird for you, and then every caution that happened, you were further towards the front.
Yeah, so I told Jacob Wilson behind me at the start, I said, don't push me. I'm going to the apron. Because you only have one faster or no faster pairs, and we're super speedway. I'm not a fan of this style racing anyways. So I dropped to the apron and I fell too far back. And then it went green for a while, started sweating a lot of bullets. I was like, golly, what if this is actually the race that goes green? So got lucky with the cautions, and every restart, same principle. Get to the bottom, get to the inside. And I was nursing a 0X running third there at the end. So I'm not sure what happened. Don't really care. We had a solid finish, though. I'm real happy with that.
Yeah, we were all wishing here, the viewers, myself, admittedly, we were hoping it was going to stay green so we could really see it come down to that start-finish line where we've seen a ton of amazing races finish before. But after all, now it's on to round 2 of the playoffs. There's some more interesting races coming up. How would you feel your season is going personally? Anything that you're going to work on more specifically into season 3?
Well, this season I've missed a lot of races. My wife, with her job, took her away, so I was basically being a solo parent for about 3 months. Anyway, so I missed a lot of races, which means I missed the playoffs. So that's been disheartening. But this P2 solidifies the fact that that we still got it. Every race that I've raced this season, for the exception of like one or two, we finished top 10. I mean, we've had solid finishes all season, but we just can never capitalize on the long runs when they do go green. And hopefully we'll have a more steady turnout next season.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you back. Jeremy, we'll let you go celebrate this one, but before you go, anyone you'd like to shout out or thank this evening?
Yeah, Christian Proctor, man. That man just brought home mid-tier racing's very first win. So
let's go. That's legit.
Very, very proud of him. And ecstatic. See what the rest of the season can hold. And Sisk Speed Shop as well. He's really helped me a lot behind the scenes, and give him a huge thanks. I know it's Talladega. Anybody can win these, but give him a huge thanks too.
Right on, man. It's cool to see mid-tier racing finish 1 and 2 in a race. I made a comment in the final moments how some of the non-playoff drivers kind of finally got some redemption on some of the guys that have been mopping the floor all week, or all season, I should say.
Oh yeah.
So it's good to see an even split here in the top 10 this evening. 5 non-playoff drivers and 5 playoff drivers that'll make those points exciting. But Jeremy, go enjoy this one. Celebrate with Christian. I'll get him back to you here in a few minutes, and you can go enjoy yourself.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
All righty.
All right, guys. That was the driver of the number 4, Jeremy Gill, finishing second place tonight. But the man of the hour, the man of the race, he worked from the top all the way to the back, all the way to the front again. It is the 13 of Christian Proctor with the win. Christian, congratulations, buddy.
Appreciate it, man.
How does it feel?
Look, we talked about it, 2 weeks ago. We're going to see me up here at some point, and I hate the way it happened the way it did, but I'm up here.
You're up here, man, and that's all that matters. Give me 1 second. I'm going to turn your volume up just a little bit if you don't mind doing the same for me on your end. I want to make sure people can hear you.
I think I got it all the way up, but I moved it a little closer.
All right, perfect. So I just spoke with Jeremy, your team owner. Of course, he's pumped. You brought home the first win for mid-tier racing. You got it done. You're non-playoff driver to get a dub, which is awesome.
Sir.
So there were a couple moments there. We saw you at the front of the pack. You had a couple fans in the broadcast this evening that were rooting for you. And then we saw you kind of decide, hey, I'm going to go 3 wide on the outside. And twice we saw it not really pan out. You got shuffled, I believe, all the way back to 15th at one point.
Yeah, there's a couple times I was hoping car behind me would follow. That middle lane was getting a little wobbly, and the car leading the pack just they couldn't really hold the line too well. So I was trying to jump up and just get around them just to keep up with the leaders there on the bottom lane, and every time I'd jump high, nobody would follow. I'd drop back, I'd get back up there, and it's the same thing over and over again.
Yep, and we saw that a couple times. I did mention, like, maybe this was on purpose move to kind of, get out of the craziness for a little bit, because basically I think every wreck we saw except maybe 1, 2, I might be missing one, but most of them all occurred right in the front.
Yeah, every single wreck except for the one right after I pitted, I was like right there behind it, like inches away from getting wrecked out every single time.
Yeah, there were some close ones. Someone mentioned, I think Christian made it through that all right, so I showed you, and it was like, yeah, he certainly did. And I think that was like the second to last one. So it's so cool right after that moment to be able to talk to you here and kind of celebrate the win with you a little bit. Just so you know, it was, let's see, let's go back just a little bit here. Where is it? Of course. Oh, Robert Altman was in the chat cheering you on this evening.
Oh, nice.
Not sure if you know him personally, but
Yeah, I do.
yeah, so that was pretty cool. Awesome experience for your fans, for us, for your team, for yourself, obviously. What was going through your mind there as soon as you went green for that final time, thinking, obviously, this is a green-white checkered. I got to put myself in position to win.
Yeah, so coming up to the start of that green white checker, Rob, he's on the team. He's one of the playoff contenders, and he was on the inside. So I was gonna let up in front of behind Jeremy a little bit just to create some space so Rob could jump up there. And then our plan did not go to plan. It went haywire as soon as the green flag the green flag dropped. But man. It did not go to plan there like we were thinking it was going to.
Well,
but
yeah, go ahead.
With a green white checker, you can plan for anything, but you never know what's going to happen.
That's right. Yeah, you never know. I know we were all hoping, much like you guys were probably all hoping that it would finish under green, but well, maybe not you, right? Once you took the lead, you were like, oh, let that please be it. But we're watching you burn it down on the replay right now, man, with some teammates, so that's pretty darn cool. Before we let you go celebrate with them, anyone you'd like to thank or shout out this evening?
I want to shout out Team Mid-Tier. You know, we've had some good races, we've had some bad races, but in the end, we're pushing further and further every race. So hopefully, you'll see us more up there in the top 3 at least, a little more often now.
Yeah, man, you've had a good second half of the season, I'd say, and keep it rolling for season 3, and we might see you in the playoffs, man.
Hopefully.
All right, buddy. Well, I appreciate you joining me. Go celebrate this one, like I mentioned, and we'll see you out here next week. Maybe go back to back next week at a short track. That'd be kind of cool.
Hopefully.
All right, we'll see you later.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Once again, folks, that was the winner this evening, the 13 of Christian Proctors. We watch him burn it down on the front stretch, doing some donuts. Well deserved for the 13 of Christian Proctor. Happy to see that guy get a win. Happy to see Mid-Tier Racing get a win as well. Next week, of course, we go to Martinsville for our first race of round 2 of the playoffs. Let's bring that up just one more time briefly. Latham made it in by his win last week. Canova had a good enough finish. Brady Floyd might be right on the edge. Same with Kenny Cucco, Brown, and Chris Pierce. We'll see. Adrian Fernandez, I have to believe, will be okay. I think J.D. Van Kirk, since he stuck with it and brought home a good finish this evening, or no, he was part of that last wreck. He did finish 16th, though. That might be good enough to squeak in. We'll see. Jacob Wilson will be in. I would say he was your third-place finisher tonight. Rob Higgs Jr. might be right on the edge as well. He finished in 18th, and Jake Raven unfortunately did not make the race tonight. I was looking forward to seeing what he was going to put together in desperate need of a podium finish. But we're going to call it there, folks. Thank you so much for joining and watching all the action. Once again, wish we would have got to keep it green there for the finish. But we'd like to thank Anthony Hutchinson and all the great folks at H&W Electrical for being the title sponsor of Top Tier Racing Series for the last 2 seasons. It couldn't have been done without you guys at H&W Electrical. Press Gas Haul Ass Designs. Victory starts with a flawless finish. Contact Drafty Beef on Discord for a quote on your iRacing custom paint today, starting at just $25 per paint. Majestic, promotional and branded apparel. Whether you run a company, a government agency, sports team, or even a virtual race team, turn every item into a statement with Majestic promotional and branded apparel. And finally, SM Racing Products. Take your sim experience to the next level with custom-made button boxes, dashboards, flag lights, and more with SM Racing Products. Check out their holiday specials happening right now at sm-racingproducts.com. For Royalty Racing Network and Royalty Motorsports, my name is Joshua King. Thank you for joining us. We'll be right back here next week for Martinsville, same time, same place. You have yourselves a good evening.